They lost the second half at Wigan after he went off.
Yeah.
They've lost the 2 games since after he went off.
He was a big miss for them.
They scored kind of a fluky-ish try in the second half against Wigan.
Yeah.
What was the score in the game against Saints? How many tries did they get in that game? Oh, they came close in the end, didn't they? They scored a few
back. It was 22,
good efforts
25
towards the end, and they didn't score in this game. So there's a big impact compared to what the scoring rate they were at in the games before that.
I agree.
But to call them a one-man team would discount what other players in that team can do.
Yeah.
I think you got to look at a broader picture than that and just say there's a few players underperforming on the fringes.
Yeah.
Maybe the halves aren't getting the balls out fast enough to the outside backs, and maybe Matty Russell, his weaknesses in terms of joining the play show up when you don't have 2 class halves performing at their best level, which they did have before, and now they've got Rashford trying to get somewhere near it and having moments like he did in the Saints game, and Gidley not being fully fit.
Who's the bigger miss for Warrington? Chris Hill or Chris Sandow? For me, I think Chris Hill is a bigger miss.
Well, you've got to think Sandow can be got at a bit defensively. Chris Hill is the leader of that defence, and along with Benny Westwood, maybe you could arguably say. So Chris Hill's a massive miss if he's not playing. But to judge, you would have to have him missing as well for a spell when Sandow's in.
Well, I'm just playing fantasy rugby league.
I can't say because I've not seen that happen.
Yeah, I think they're a weaker proposition with Chris Hill out of the team than they are with Chris Sandow out of the team. Personally, I think he just brings so much to the table in terms of the go forward and the numbers and the way he runs in other guys and stuff. I think he's their talisman.
Their depth at prop is getting thinner by the week, it seems.
Marie Wright got in touch with us. She's a Huddersfield fan and a stalwart of the Super League pod, and it's always lovely to hear from her. Marie said, much better defence from the Giants tonight. We nailed the wire. Desperately needed this to pull up morale. Still bottom, but hopeful. Lee Whitnell said defence was pretty good against the bottom team in the league, but not quite good enough. In attack, we were useless. Hopefully this type of performance isn't going to become a habit like last year. Hurry back, Sandow. Alan Witt said, what a fantastic result. Granted, there's still work to be done, but to nil the league leaders after an awful start to the season can do nothing but give the team confidence. Difficult to see what league position is actually achievable from here on in. They're going to have to do very well to make the 8.
I'd say so.
They have to work very, very hard. It's not obviously mathematically impossible, but if you think that teams that are in and around the 8 are going to win a certain amount of games, so that's going to kind of take those out of the pot for them. And then there's teams around them in the bottom part that you would anticipate will have a better second half of the season in Leeds and stuff. Again, that takes games out of the pot. So they're going to have to do very, very well for themselves to get into the 8, I would say. But good luck to them. Mark W said Warrington didn't give us much to worry about in defence, but still a solid performance. The whole game was played in their half and we finally looked like a team again. Not getting too carried away from a second win in 11 games, but we could be back on form. Brad Davies said he caught the commentary of this one from Radio Merseyside. Giants kicked well in the first half with one goal line dropout after another. Repeated pressure and wire errors meant the Giants were always going to win. Great to see the last beat the first. Should make second half of the season exciting. No Sandow and no wins for Wire. Paul Ludo Lewis said he didn't go to the game and I've only seen the tries, but Wire got nearly into the bottom side in the league. Ha 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 ha. Hashtag their year. For those of you who are uninitiated, Paul is a Widnes fan.
And Warrington are still top of the league, so Widnes not even in the top 4 anymore. Save your laughter, buddy.
Hashtag. That's not him, is it?
I don't know.
No, I just wonder if one of the people that tweet us from Widnes is actually the penguin.
I'm not sure.
The penguin? The pigeon.
That account existed before some of these guys
were born?
No, it existed before that account got on board following the show and tweeting the show and stuff.
I see.
So I don't know if that might be the case or not.
You never know. Right, so whilst that...
It's funny anyway.
I love the pigeon. It's just #coup and everything he says. That's brilliant. Okay, at the same time then, it was Leeds versus Hull FC in dreadful conditions at Headingley, playing in front of nearly 16,000 people, and the Rhinos came away with a rare victory this season, Mark. 20 points to 18 over Hull FC. It wasn't perhaps one for someone who might like, fast-flowing summer rugby, but it was gritty and attritional, and there was lots to see and enjoy and admire about both teams' performances.
And a bit of excitement at the end as well with the
Hull FC
kick chase,
the almost comeback in the kick chase from Hull FC. So it was a good bit of Friday night entertainment. I really rather enjoyed this one, despite the result not going the way I'd hoped with the tipping.
I tried to watch it back, but fell asleep midway through the second half, if I'm honest.
All right.
And then on Saturday morning, I thought, right, I'll just watch the last 5 minutes because I know it ended quite exciting and controversially and what have you.
That was a good game. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, it was. It's good to see the effect that your fans can have in lifting a team, I think. And this game, I don't know if you noticed this in what you were watching, but I feel like there was... Well, first of all, it pissed me off because for about 10 or 15 minutes, the whole of the South Stand were just constantly chanting the same, "Oh, we are Leeds, oh, we are..."
Oh, yeah,
over and over and over and over. And it wouldn't stop, and to the point where I was like, fuck, and I put it on mute because it was doing my head in. But then I put it back on, and the more and more I thought about it, as actually, this is probably having an effect on the lads out on the field, and it just kept going and kept going, and it felt like for about 20 minutes during that earlier part of the second half, when Leeds were looking to get back into the game, the South Stand were just constantly a presence, and that noise was there. They didn't change songs or anything, and they sang without a break for a long time in that second half, and it felt to me like that carried Leeds home a little bit, and that support and that positivity from their fans, not getting on their backs, but actually, backing their team who are struggling at the minute to play well and kind of show that support. I think that must have had some impact on Leeds' performance and perhaps given them an extra 2 or 3% to get over the line on this.
Maybe so, yeah. Also, though, team selection. He went back to the young kids in the halves, didn't he?
Yeah.
Partly forced in terms of Danny Maguire, but partly realising that Rob Burrow has been completely ineffective as a halfback this year.
Yeah.
And Rob Burrow ended up having probably his best game of the season at hooker. Both of them didn't even get on the pitch.
Standard though, that innit? Someone on the Leeds interchange bench isn't getting a game that night.
It's the way to go for Brian Mack, but
young John Lilly,
he shows so much.
Was a man amongst boys at points in that one when he got over for his try and he's broken his nose and he's pissing blood out and he converted his try.
Yeah, didn't miss a kick
with a broken nose and claret pissing down his face. I say fair play to the boy.
Yeah,
absolutely fair play to the boy. Well done.
Yeah,
and I've not necessarily bigged him up much this year.
And like a few other players have, not necessarily young anymore, but come through the system. People like Jimmy the Kindor.
Yeah.
They got involved, they contributed, and they're not the star names like you'd be looking to see in that back five or back seven for Leeds, but they were doing a better job than the team had been doing, and that was all without Cuthbertson as well.
Yeah.
So you've got to give credit to the Leeds players for putting in a much more
especially someone like Brad
determined performance. It reminded me quite a bit of the win that they had against Huddersfield as well, in terms of it wasn't great. That was who they beat, wasn't it? Huddersfield.
Yeah.
2016 or something, wasn't
it? Right.
It wasn't great. They rode the luck. They dealt with the conditions and they got over the line. I think there's signs of a recovery there for the Rhinos. For Hull FC, I just think they missed Jamie Shaw. The bits that I saw, there was quite a lot of breaks that you sort of think Shaw reads better from that position, whereas Norton's been used to playing on the wing now for some time.
I think Norton came in and did a very good job deputising for Jamie Shaw. I don't think he made any errors particularly. He handled the high ball well for the majority of it, in the majority of circumstances, and he ran a good line forward when he was returning kicks. He did break the line on a couple of occasions and kind of slipped through Leeds at times, but he's just not quite the prospect at fullback that Jamie Shaw is.
Yeah.
Curtis Norton is a better winger than a fullback for me, I think, and he
maybe
does that job a bit better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jamie Shaw's just that. He's
Now
10,
that is-
10 to 15% better than Curtis Norton.
Now that Norton's just sort of pace doesn't make gaps for him alone.
Yeah.
Doesn't create space for other players alone. I think at the step up level, maybe the wing is more suited to his skill sets. But he had a good crack. But you feel like, and maybe also with another natural halfback rather than Washbrook. Or whichever forward they plugged in at that position.
Yeah, that didn't help. Everything was going out of Snade, wasn't it?
You sort of feel like maybe that would have helped him have a bit more support down the middle for some of the runs as well. And maybe they could have scored some more points then, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Are you saying that would have benefited from the experience and leadership of Leon Price, Mark?
Well, maybe even like the young kid who's been going well in the 19s. What's his name? Is it Reece Dean, I think?
No, I'm not sure.
Anyway, in difficult conditions, it was the mistakes that were the biggest difference on the stats. Hull had 2 more errors, 4 more penalties, and 1% worse tackle success. Margins in this game were quite small, so these numbers were significant to halt a Hull side that had more breaks and a better average gain than the Rhinos.
Very good. So, tell us about some Rhinos then.
Well, Jimmy the Kind Horse had 1 try, 130 metres, 2 clean breaks. Jamie Jones Buchanan had a try, 118 metres. Rob Burrow, a try assist, 174 metres, scooting away there. And Carl Ablett, 41 tackles, 10 of which were marker tackles. Big effort from the Cart Horse. The Kind Horse and the Cart Horse making the stats round up together.
Look at that, that's turned out well. Let's just take another moment to apologise to Jamie Jones Buchanan, whose career we wrote off last year, because he's come back and he's doing really, really well.
Yeah, I think we have a view from a fan about that sort of thing. Kurt Yeaman grabbed a try, 129 metres, talking to people who maybe has been written off before, not necessarily by us.
No.
But he's going great guns since coming back into the team, undroppable. Danny Houghton with a try, 57 tackles. He went both ways like Danny Houghton does. Frank Pritchard, 180 metres, 2 clean breaks. Fatuli Talanoa with 156 metres on his return to the side.
Colin Render said, "Phew, finally grind out a win. It wasn't pretty, but sometimes that's what you need to gain some confidence. Lillian Burrow were excellent tonight. Still some improvements to do, but on to next week." Tyler Casvan said, "Not a lot of skill on show, but plenty of desire and determination. Leeds just about deserved it. Hardacre and JJB very good. Sky's coverage very bad." Yeah, someone just wipe the camera lens down.
Yeah,
just wipe that, because it did impact on my
enjoyment. It was detrimental. Yeah,
it did. Rich Wilkinson said, "Grit and determination," and he's using the Google form as well. Rich Wilkinson.
No.
All right.
I put this onto the Google form.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant. I will not use the Google. Do you think he's just steadfastly refusing now?
I think he forgets that he should.
I anticipate hearing about this tomorrow morning at work when it pings up on Twitter.
Oh, definitely.
He gets straight in touch, doesn't he? Now then, lads.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Great determination, a great win for Leeds. We desperately needed that. The kids were awesome and the whole team gave it their all. Scoots28 Mac got in touch. Very difficult to say a lot about the match. We didn't take our chances and we let Burrow do what he liked. And it was cold and wet.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Scoots. She'd had a bit of a rough week last week. She got in touch and thanked us for the show, for cheering her up. But also, she said she'd been working on a bit of bargaining with a 6-year-old.
Right.
In terms of they had to behave themselves, get to bed and not kick off a stink at bedtime.
Right.
As it's getting lighter outside, I guess kids are more problematic at bedtime, aren't they?
They are.
So the kid, to its credit, did what was.
Do we know if it's a boy or a girl?
No, that's why I'm using the
credit. Fair enough.
That's why I'm using.
Well, this was just you and your normally not particularly child-friendly stance on life.
I like kids.
Yeah,
just in a normal amount of people's kids that are
the appropriate amount is to like people's children without actually wanting them yourself.
But I don't. Yeah, exactly.
I had a dream the other night that you and Emma actually were trying for kids secretly.
No way.
Seriously, and it was like you can't tell anyone, but we're trying for kids. You're not, are you?
No.
Okay. Or not. You're not, are you? I think you make a tremendous dad. Are you?
But yeah. So she sort of got the bargaining in place, and it's worked. And now I feel like it's going to fall on its face because the kid will think every time I behave myself, I get to go to a rugby league game to get soaked, pissed wet through, freezing cold.
It is a bit negative reinforcement, isn't it?
And get to watch Hull lose.
I'm certain that the Scoots will have made it worth their while back with a trip to the burger van or something.
Yeah.
Just to keep spirits going. But no, credit to all FC fans that went over and stood out in that.
Yeah, because if anything,
we've been caught in the rain at Headingley. When it's been intermittently raining and it's shite.
Oh no, I've been in some really bad rain at Headingley.
I've been fortunate with my Headingley experience that I've not been pissed down on for the entire match. There's been, it's rained a little bit, or there's been showers, but it's stopped. World Cup Series case in point.
Yeah.
But that on Friday night, fair play to you.